Hi, I'm Cherie Johnson, a family and behaviour therapist and also the founder of Shared Intent Support, the UK's first 24-hour support service supporting girls exiting gang lifestyle, serious violence and sexual exploitation. I have been doing this since 2012 and my first commissioning was within the borough of Southwark. I pretty much established this service for the need to work with girls who had actively chose to join gang lifestyle. What do I mean? In the past 5 to 7 years in media, we have heard numerous service and individuals and professionals talk about girls being sexed in, raped, exploited or coerced into gang lifestyle. I firsthand know that is not true. Not all girls are forced into a gang lifestyle. Actually, some girls are willing, they choose to join this group and it's their decision. I'm actually writing a piece of theory on this called the Subscribe group because you have particular demographics of women who are born into criminal lifestyle and criminal families. This is all they know. So for them, that journey and path is completely different to women who are coerced, sexed in or tricked into a gang lifestyle. The women I've worked with over the past 6 years are the ladies at the top. These are women who have chosen to be there. Either family members have put them there or it's all they know. The driving factor for why they're there is money, status, and actually carrying on something that has been inherited in their family. How do I know? Because I've been there. This was the main reason why I felt we needed a service that worked with these women in particular. These women are different from the women who are coerced in and sexed in. These women show great leadership qualities. They're great at organising people. They're great at putting tasks together. They're great at communication. They're also great at money handling and leadership. However, some trauma in their lifetime or their childhood has put them on this path or has somehow made them feel that this path is acceptable. These are the women that I wanted to reach out because although they are perpetrators at the start, at some point in their life, they will become a victim. They will become a victim because somebody in their family will go to prison. Somebody will die. Somebody will be harmed and somebody will be robbed. And it's that moment that can change somebody's life and change somebody's mind. These were the women that I wanted to work with because these are the women that society says they have no chance. When you are working with these young women, you quickly start to notice common traits among them. They are all from socially deprived areas. They all come from households where their income was low, education attainment level was low, or self-esteem, confidence, and great leadership from parents was almost non-existent. And I want you to think about this very carefully. Because if social factors are the driving reason why our young people are joining gangs, how do we start to address the social construction as opposed to keep addressing and criminalising our young people? Many of the women I have worked with have suffered some deep trauma. They have been raped multiple times. They have been to prison multiple times. And these reoccurring events has almost caused them to become desensitized, which then becomes the driving factor as to why they keep doing what they are doing. We've heard over the past 3 years how big of a role social media has been involved in coercing young people, influencing young people, and most definitely glamorizing the drug lifestyle. However, I've worked tirelessly over the past 2 years to educate parents on how to effectively use social media to monitor your children, help co-parent, yep, I said it, help co-parent, and also allow you to see what your child is like behind your back. What do I mean? Have you heard of Snapchat? Have you heard of Facebook? Have you heard of Instagram? These are social media platforms that are in our society and actually one of the core platforms for our young people. Set aside Facebook, Snapchat and Instagram are the leading platforms for young people of today. Now, we can either look at technology as parents as something that's damaging, something that's here to stay, or something that we embrace and move along with the times. I'm here to tell you as a parent, it's something we need to embrace and move along with the times. Did you know that county borderline shifts are advertised on Snapchat? Did you know that young people can be offered county line drug dealing shifts on a social media application? Do you have your young person on your social media application? How well do you know that application? And did you know that that application can also be used as a tool to parent your young person? What do I mean? If you allow family members to add your young person on the social media platform and they're in different countries, they are able to govern and watch what goes on the social media platform when you may be sleeping. So if you have a family in the Caribbean and you are asleep, and we know in the Caribbean they might be 7 hours ahead or 7 hours behind, effectively if you're going to bed at 9 o'clock at night, once you switch off, your family abroad are definitely switched on, and they can see what goes on during particular hours on your child's social media platform. So again, it's about understanding social media so that we can better maneuver ourselves around it. I have seen women who have inflicted violence onto other women by using these platforms. It's important as parents in this day and age that we know how to maneuver around them, most definitely how to operate them. And we need to start having those conversations with our children on how we can bond over them. This is so important to me because as a young girl, I was very skillful on maneuvering around my parents and guardian. I was also taught from a young age, culturally, not to trust statutory services, not to explain what was my problem, because we was taught that statutory services just take the children from the home. However, it didn't mean that I did not need support. I was 12 when my mum went to prison, and I really needed somebody to talk to. Most importantly, I needed a mentor. I needed to see somebody who had been through what I had been through and come through the other end. I needed somebody to shadow, somebody to remind me that everything was going to be okay, because I had just lost my role model, which was my mum. And for this reason was the reason why I birthed Shared Intense Support. It was the reason why I knew I was not the only girl out there who felt this way. And I definitely was not the only young girl who was taught not to trust statutory services. I've managed to build up an amazing client base, ranging from local community, parents, education establishments, criminal justice sector, private clients, and high-profile professionals, those in the music industry, film industry, and in social care sector. I have worked with parents to holistically support their young person through their challenges, whilst being able to bring the best out of that young person. Because I always tell people, use your life experiences to bring out your leadership qualities. Through great multi-agency work and partnership work, I would not be able to do this. It has been amazing to work with numerous professionals across the country on saving women from doing county borderline drug dealing, being sexually exploited, and being emotionally taken advantage of. This is really important to me because in this day and age, we are lacking services who work beyond 5 p.m. Life does not stop at 5 p.m. So why are our statutory services closing their doors at 5? Why are we not changing the model that we have been using for over 50 years? I am very privileged to be able to work with women after 5 p.m. all the way up until 4 a.m. in the morning. Because as we know, young people just do not operate at the same time as adults. They're in a different world. They're going through different things. Again, I have used some amazing partners to assist me with my work, so I can do evidence data driven work, be able to demonstrate and evidence the changes I have made. My methodology is not necessarily conventional, but it's 100% successful. I think it's time we start opening up the discussion around girls in gangs, their roles, and how exactly do they operate. Because not all women are sexed in and forced in. Some women actively choose to join, want to join, and actually aspire to join. How do we work with those women? And who works with those women? Because at some point, these women will become victims. Because as a life of crime, we always know it ends with prison, death. For women, it will be unexpected babies and possibly rape. It's time we change our methodology. It's time we work together to systematically support our young people. Using social media is just one of the methodologies that I have successfully used to merge families back to a place where they can effectively communicate, speak to each other, value each other, reinstall boundaries and values and aspirations. I want you to understand that not all women can be mentored out of this situation, because there's so much trauma that actually working with that young lady is going to take more than 12 weeks, more than 14 weeks, more than 16 weeks. Holistic approach for me is about making sure that we take care of the young person's emotional well-being, physical well-being, along with their safety. And together as service providers, if we can work in a holistic approach, addressing the emotional well-being, the physical well-being, and the family's system within the household, I believe we'll be able to make some changes. But let's not forget, our gang and drug problem are not the young people. Our gang and drug problem is due to the social construction we have in our society. Why are particular groups of people living in particular demographics in the UK? Why are they on low incomes? Why are there lack of job opportunities for particular demographic or group of people? Why is housing conditions really bad in particular areas? And until we address this, we will not be able to get to the root cause of why some children feel that fast money is the only route out. Because we do know that if we raise a young person's intelligence, their emotions are better managed. This discussion could be so lengthy, and the contribution from many professionals before me and after me on this platform all have something valuable and all have something great we can learn from. It's about supporting our young people holistically by taking care of their emotional needs. I've been there, I've done it, I've lived that lifestyle. So I'm not sitting here as a highly qualified professional who has never been there. I have been there and worked my way to where I am now. It has not been easy, but if it was not for the unconventional methods and services, I would not be here. So kudos to those in the community who are using alternative approaches that may not have been recognised as yet, but are definitely changing lives. For further details, please feel free to visit my website www.cheriejohnson.co.uk.